start. Let's keep it then with a stellar set of Q1 numbers from Wipro. It's been the best ever Q1, and the guidance cheer as well has helped. Let's take it across then to the top brass of Wipro joining in. We have Thierry Delaporte, Saurabh Govil, as well as Jatin Dalal joining in on the show. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking time out. Let's begin then with you, Mr. Delaporte. Congratulations to you as well as the entire team, because it's been a stellar growth this time around. There's been a higher than expected guidance. The Q2 guidance has been very strong. What led to such a strong performance besides, of course, the Capco acquisition, and which are the verticals and the geographies that have contributed the maximum?
You know, I think it's not a sudden growth trajectory that we are seeing. If you really look at what has happened over the last basically 3 quarters, we have been keeping a pace in terms of growth, and we've delivered strong performance in bookings. And therefore, you know, gradually we've really been able to accelerate the growth and deliver the performance we've done in Q1, given the level of the current wind in the back, if you like, we have with the pipeline we have and the order book we have built. I think we are confident that we can continue to generate a good level of growth. Therefore, this guidance at 5 to 7% growth for Q2. Where is it coming from? I would say across all sectors in America. So Americas 1 and Americas 2 are growing double digit, both of them. And it's growing well in Europe as well, very strong in Europe. Where we are seeing very modest growth in Q1 is APMEA, and where we should start to see a little more growth in the second quarter. So, as you can see, general sentiment positive regarding the geographies. If we look at sectors, I would say the main, so our sectors are growing well, but we have 2 sectors that are really driving a lot of the growth at the moment. One is BFSI, obviously even augmented by Capco, but before Capco we were already growing well. And we have also the retail and consumer business that is, you know, getting a lot of good momentum, both in America and in Europe, by the way. Now, in terms of offerings, to be complete in my answer, I would say the growth we are seeing is coming primarily from our strategic offerings around cloud, data, engineering services, cybersecurity. That's really where we are getting, you know, the more traction and the bigger growth at the moment.
All right, those are some of the key growth drivers. But given the fact that we did see in Q1 a growth of nearly 12.2%, how much would you attribute that to the organic growth? And more importantly, do you think we can expect this sort of a strong double-digit growth in FY22 without the Capco acquisition? And how have you looked at specifically the contribution from Capco and Ampion over FY22?
2 points. So one is, of this growth, 12% in Q1, 4.9 is organic. 4.9% is organic. Okay. Given the performance of growth of Q1, given our guidance for Q2, I think it's clear to us as we speak that we will be able to be well ahead of double-digit growth for the full year, and this even excluding Capco. And third is in terms of, you know, important milestone. In Q2 we will hit the 10 billion mark revenue run rate for the quarter, and therefore that's going to be quite a significant milestone for the Wipro organization, gearing up us for, you know, the next stage of our growth, trending from $10 to $20 billion.
Right.
Jatin, if I could get you as well in on the conversation. Your margins in the first quarter have come under pressure and are sub-expectations. Attrition is rising for the industry. My question is that, is attrition a concern for Wipro? Because your peers seem to have indicated the same. Both TCS and Infosys had a similar commentary when it came to talent management. What are the margin levers that you have in your coffers to try and maintain your margins at the current levels of about 18.8%?
Sure. So I would defer the question on attrition to Saurabh, but I would talk about margin levers that are available to us. We have always spoken about a clear focus of remaining, retaining an edge for the growth as in the current demand environment, and that's what we have done in quarter one. So we have made investments in terms of people, supply chain, talent, new salary increases and progressions that we have given to our employees, and it had impact in quarter one. As we move forward, we will have levers such as better productivity in fixed price project, a superior management of pyramid, automation, offshoring has remained a consistent theme for last few quarters, and I think it will remain a consistent theme going forward too. So these are the levers that we will continue to work on, even as we make sure that we invest right and little ahead of curve in terms of talent, so that we can continue to grow well in the current demand environment. I'll hand it over to Saurabh to talk about attrition.
Right. Saurabh, you want to take that point on attrition and whether or not that's a concern?
Attrition, as you know, has gone up. We had called it out last quarter that we will see an uptick in attrition. This is not only for us across the industry and across outside of the tech industry. It's the change in the market right now. It is something which we need to keep a close eye, and we have taken several actions to ensure that we contain this. But as we do that, we are also making sure that we have building enough robustness in a people supply chain so that it doesn't impact from a growth standpoint. But attrition continues to be a concern. We will be focused. We have taken several actions. I have called it out in the press conference. I can speak about it again. But we believe that it will remain at these levels for a couple of quarters before it starts coming down.
Yeah. Thierry, if I could get back to you. In the first quarter, you'd managed to close about 8 large deals, resulting in a TCV of over $715 million. How strong is the deal momentum, and which verticals and sectors are you seeing higher traction coming in from?
It's always, I don't know a better indication of the market demand than looking at your evolution of your pipeline. And it's true that our pipeline has been growing significantly over the last quarters, over the last months even. And so from that standpoint, I think it's clear that we are seeing a demand. I think given the transformation journey a lot of our clients are going through, I think this demand will continue to remain for a while. So I think we have several quarters ahead of us of solid demand. Okay, that's all I can say at this point in time. I think it's also across sectors, frankly, and across geographies.
There are 2 questions in one. Last quarter you stated that the Capco acquisition is in line with a bold Wipro, as you described it. What is the kind of further M&A action that we can see over the next 1 year? And also tell us a little bit more about the Capco integration being completed. What kind of client feedback have you received?
Let me start with the Capco integration question, and then I'll speak about the M&A strategy. So Capco integration, we've actually completed the deal 2 months ago. So it's early stages, okay? And trust me, we've really focused on the market as opposed to, integrating back offices and things like that. We are absolutely market focused and working together as one team to really reconsider the way we are positioning ourselves as a partner for our clients in the BFSI sector. We have identified key accounts. We have started to align our strategy, look at, the solution we can, take to our clients. And we've engaged in some occasions, and we've won several deals already together. So I would say early stage, early signs, but very positive integration from a business, but also from a people standpoint, positive integration. On your second question, which is M&A, we've always been clear on the fact that M&A is part of our growth strategy. And in particular, in a buoyant market like these days, M&A is a lever to drive growth and gain market share. And we have a strategic focus to M&A. So it's not to gain scale, but it's more to really reinforce position and take leadership positions in some strategic areas. We've been clear also with on the fact that we consider, if you like, what I would say, regular tucked-in acquisitions to represent between 1% and 2% of our revenue in terms of revenue addition. Deals like Capco or that size are more binary. They happen or they don't. It's not like the volume of business that you want to generate. So on that, all what we are saying is we don't limit ourselves. If there are opportunities that make sense from a strategic standpoint, we will consider these opportunities.
Jatin, Saurabh, I'm going to pose this question to either of you. Talk to us a little bit more about the margin picture. At what levels do you think margins will sustain? With a more simplified Wipro, what kind of attrition levels can we see that the overall operating model you think can absorb?
Well, I will answer on margins. This is a year which is a year of great opportunity, and I think we should see it as such. And therefore, rather than committing ourselves to a particular number, we will go back to what we had said before, and that was that in medium term we see 19 to 19.5, and that commentary we had made before Capco, and after Capco that number with 2% dilution is 17 to 17.5%, and that is the commentary that we have remained consistent with in terms of our medium term outlook. However, this quarter, as you can see at 18.8, we have been significantly ahead. There will be some sort of headwinds to the margin as we get into quarter two in terms of the salary increases that we have given from 1st June and one more salary increase that we'll give from 1st September to our younger colleagues. And therefore, but then there is also a great opportunity in the levers that I spoke about before, in terms of offshoring, productivity in fixed price project, automation, so on and so forth. So it's going to be a balance that we will have to achieve every quarter and work through every quarter. And right now, our focus, as you can see in quarter one, has been on growth, and it will remain to be on growth even as we move forward for rest of the quarters of FY22. But we will not leave any opportunity to save a dollar where we can, that can help us in our profitability.
As I said, it's an intense focus from our side. We will very closely work on it. We have done several actions. We don't want to give a number to what should be the right one, but I only want to tell you that we are comfortable that it should not impact our growth trajectory. And I think that's the endeavor which we are working towards. It didn't impact us in when you see a sharp increase, it didn't impact us in Q1. We had the highest headcount add in the company in the last 10 years. We had the highest billable ads. So, it's positive, and we need to continue this trend whilst managing attrition going forward.
Right, Thierry, industry players, as an industry player rather, do suggest that India as well as Japan markets have been a concern in the first quarter. That's the chatter that we've been getting from the rest of the industry. Are you seeing any signs for Wipro?
certainly in quarter one, our performance in India has been a very, very modest growth. It will accelerate in Q2, but it's, not at the level of, the rest of the organization. So certainly, I mean, there's no doubt that in quarter one, there has been some impact across the organization. Having said that, our business is getting healthier. And pipeline is promising as well.
Gentlemen, thank you so much, all of you, for taking the time out. Thierry, Jatin, as well as Saurabh, and speaking with us today on ET Now.